Hi, Jeff Mersati, the Plain English Attorney, and welcome to the online guide and course launch. Uh, this is something that we've been working on for a little bit. We got a lot of good feedback from people about wanting resources and tools online in the estate planning process, but at the same time, they don't want to completely let go of a law firm and an attorney, making sure that their estate planning documents are done the right way. So it's instituting a good plan, but we can do it for less money because it's not taking up as much attorney time. All right, so let's just kind of give a little bit of an overview of what we put together and why. Well, let's start with that. Why? Uh, our firm really tries to focus on preventing problems in the first place. And one of the biggest problems that's out there is probate. And look, there's a lot of materials that we've put out on avoiding probate, using revocable living trusts as a way to do all that. But look, sometimes people just want to get the basic plan done. Okay, probate is something that can be looked at later, but they need something now. They don't need it to be complicated. They want it to be simple. And that's what we are responding with. We have now the online guide that kind of runs through a lot of these basic things. What kind of questions do you need to look at? What are the main documents that you need? And so here's the website. It is active right now. It's freesimplewillguide.com. Again, freesimplewillguide.com. So you can get a report that's downloaded as a PDF and it will run through all of the different documents. We focus a little bit on the big four questions. What do you need to answer? What are a little bit some tidbits of advice on things with that? And it's a description of the big five documents. And we'll run through that in a bit. Now, for more in depth and to even just get the actual process started, well, now we have online Raleigh wills. Now it says online Raleigh wills, but really anyone who's in North Carolina resident and they're willing to travel either to the Raleigh office or to the Asheville office when we're out there to do the signing, great. We can accommodate this and do a package at a reduced rate. So again, freesimplewillguide.com and onlineraleigh.wills.com, and that's wills plural. So this information is actually good nationally. There's not a lot of state specific stuff that we're putting either in the guide or the course, even though it's branded and saying it's for North Carolina residents. Now, the reason we have it branded and saying it's for North Carolina residents, I can't help you outside of the state of North Carolina in terms of putting together your actual documents. Now, I have a lot of people on the YouTube channel. They're not all situated in North Carolina. They're all over the country and in fact in other countries. I can only help on the simple will documents here in North Carolina. And this is one of those things that's really out there. When we review it, and this is in the guide, there are a ton of people who try to do it themselves. They try to go to these online services and, oh, I'll just type in the information. It spits out the will. Let me go ahead. I'll get it signed, and then I'm going to go and send it down the road to an attorney to take a look at and make sure everything's right. About a third of the time when we get those documents, they're not even signed correctly. And a lot of the times, they don't even say what you thought it was saying. In other words, what you wanted and what you thought you were putting into the program online when you were doing it yourself, it's spitting back something that's not what you thought it was. Now, just to give a quick story, and this was many years ago, two very intelligent people. They were both PhDs. They were extraordinarily bright in their field. This is the stuff that they did all day, every day. But they said, okay, well, we're smart. Let's go ahead and we're going to do it ourselves. And they went through one of these programs and they had me review the wills and said, oh, yeah, another attorney did this. Wink. Yeah, okay, fine. I start reading through it and I said, oh, well, Did you mean to disinherit each other? Because this says everything goes to the kids. There's nothing going to each other first. Oh, no, that's not what we wanted. We wanted everything to go to each other first. The kids were the backups. Oh, okay. Check the executors. Okay, so you didn't want each other to be first in line as executors? If, for whoever died first, you wanted the other one to be the executor because that's not what this says. You're immediately going to other people. That's not what we meant. That's not, no, no, no. We wanted each other. Okay. And well, okay, the kids are inheriting everything under this will. You're not actually spouses, you're not getting anything. You want them to inherit this at age 18? Oh, no, that's way too young. Okay. Those are three very, very basic things and concepts. And then I got to the last page and I said, well, don't worry about it because this isn't even a legally valid will because it wasn't signed correctly. They signed their own wills. They were witnesses on each other's wills. The other witness spot was blank and it wasn't notarized. Like I said, these are very nice, intelligent people, but it's not what they did every day. And so when they were trying to do it yourself just to save a little bit of money, it wasn't working out. So the using those online do-it-yourself platforms don't necessarily work. You've really got to know what you're inputting and understand a lot about the concepts. Now, what we've put together with online Raleigh Wills doesn't put together and spit out a computer generated program. No, it walks you through the process, provides background, answers the most common questions that are out there, lets you go ahead, put in your information. It gets downloaded to us at the office. And now we can put together your documents. Make a phone call, make sure everything's correct, walk through a couple of things, send you the drafts. If everything's good, great. You come in for the signing and it's done. So now you've got your documents at a much lower cost than having to go to the attorney, sit down, walk through a whole strategy session. Go ahead, get the drafts of the documents, review them in person. Anytime it's in person and there's not the online tools and resources to look up stuff and check there first, you're adding to the cost of the planning. So we've figured out how we're going to streamline it. But look, you can spend hours and hours going through everything in that course to make sure that you understand enough, but you're not paying me in order to do that. So that's the whole concept behind Online Raleigh Will. So let's go ahead and we'll talk about the big five documents that we have and we put together for North Carolina residents. And look, if you're outside of North Carolina and you're seeing this anyway, these are generally the same documents. Now, each state might have, oh, well, you need to add this or you need to add that. Okay, that's for attorneys licensed in that state to talk to you about. Now, the first thing for a simple will plan, you need a last will and testament. You need that simple will. So this is the document that's going to describe where you want your assets to go, who's the executor handling probate, what are the different contingencies, and if needed, what's in the testamentary trust. In other words, those age limits that will hold property back in the discretion of the trustee, who we just typically use the executor. It's the same type of person. They're the ones who are going to manage the money longer term and pay for things along the way and then distribute it outright when either they're ready or they reach the age limit. Okay, so all that stuff is in the last will and testament. So that's the first document. Second document is the durable general power of attorney. All right, so this is the document where if you become incapacitated, now suddenly you have a document that lets people access financial assets, take money out, move money around. So if you end up in a hospital in a coma for a couple of months, your life isn't financially falling apart. They're taking care of this stuff for you. Now, we use it as a durable general power of attorney. So it's effectively active right now. That there's a whole bunch of reasons why that makes sense, which I do address in the course onlineRaleighWills.com. It's in there. So this financial document is so someone can step in and take care of things for you. This is without having to go to court and get appointed as a guardian for something that may be temporary or it may be permanent. You've got your power of attorney to handle that. Third big document, the healthcare power of attorney. So this is the person who would be talking with the doctors, deciding on courses of treatment, surgery versus surgery B, signing all the paperwork. If you're in that hospital in a coma for 3 months, all right, they're the ones who would be handling things and making all of these medical decisions if you can't make them yourself. So they do step in at that point. Fourth document is a nomination of conservator. All right. This is who would be a guardian for you if it was ever had your power of attorney contested or somebody felt, I'm going to go to court and I'm going to become the guardian. What we're doing in this, again, this is a North Carolina thing, different states may be different. North Carolina lets you choose a conservator of the person, which we line up with your healthcare agents, and a conservator of the estate, which we line up with your power of attorney agents. So between those two documents, it should take care of all that stuff. But now you've got the nomination of conservator in case someone's trying to interject, they think they should be in charge. All right, you're naming the same people in the same order as the other two documents. So it's a little bit of a more defensive document. Fifth big document is the living will, or you've heard advanced directives. Basically, this is the document that takes care of life support, artificial nutrition and hydration, extraordinary means, and things like that. If you've reached that point where the doctors have said, look, we've tried everything, we don't think they're coming back, but we can keep the body going on the machines and the nutrition and the hydration and let the bills pile up and okay, we can keep doing that. What do you want to do? Look, most of my clients ahead of time thinking about that go, no, 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 that's not what I want. If I reach that point, just let me go. That's what this document says. And now we've got a bonus document depending on your situation. We always just include it. It's not like we're adding an additional charge there. It's appointing a guardian if you have minor children. So this document will list just who's raising the kids. Now, one important point that I make in the Simple Will Guide, as well as more extensively in the online Raleigh Wills program, you don't need Superman or Wonder Woman. Oh, they need to be able to do all the financial stuff and all the healthcare stuff and raise the kids. We got, oh, this is so confusing. I'm trying to find one person who can do all of it. You don't need to find one person who can do all of it. You can have individual people. That brings us into the big four questions, which again, it's in the guide and it's in the online Raleigh Wills course. All right, so that's what we've got out there. It's again live now. I'm just going to give you those websites again. And then what I'll do is I'll just open it up for questions. Look, you got me here. Let's go ahead and talk about whatever it is related to planning that you want to talk about. So it's freesimplewillguide.com. And that's the guide, and onlineraleigh.wills.com. And remember that course is good for residents of all of North Carolina. We just want to make sure you're coming to the office for a signing. So it's either the office in Raleigh or the office in Asheville, and we can arrange it and make it happen. All right. So this is the point. We're just going to open it up for whatever questions you've got. All right. So let's see what's out there. Now, we have YouTube for questions. It's all set and ready to go. And we should also be receiving comments on any of the other platforms because we are live on Facebook as well as LinkedIn in a couple of different places. So that should also be coming through. So let's go ahead. Tell me what questions you have. Now, I did already have somebody who couldn't attend the live stream send something in. All right, what's the cost of this? Look, it's in the course. I'm not listing it on this video because this is going to be something that's up on YouTube for a long time, but it's actually in the course itself for Online Raleigh Wills. But what I can tell you, the follow-up question was, well, can I just get that special price and yet come into the office and do everything the normal way? Well, no, because that's actually now taking up staff and attorney time. That reduced cost is because you're kind of getting a lot of those questions that you may have. It's right there in the course. So you can look all of that stuff up and then save the real questions for when we're having our phone call. All right. If I need help in Texas, would you be able to help? Or perhaps you know someone who could. Texas is a really big state, but I do have a couple of people. So if you can go ahead, get over to my law firm. I'll go ahead and I'll give out my email address at the law firm. It's, well, the website for the law firm is livingtrustlawfirm.com. And the email address is Jeff at livingtrustlawfirm.com. Very easy. Jeff at livingtrustlawfirm.com. And so that can actually you get me an email. I can find out where in Texas you are so that I can find an appropriate person to send you on. So, all right. So that's what we can do for other states is, yeah, I know attorneys all over the place. So hopefully I can get somebody to you who knows what they're talking about when it comes to estate planning. All right, let's see if we've got any other questions. I do have a couple of things that people had kind of mentioned in conversations when we were talking about developing everything. Um, okay, look, I know you, Jeff. Jeff, I know you like to put a lot of information out there, and I know that you like to make it as complete as possible. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's in the course. What we did based on some feedback, there's really a kind of expedited quick section where if you just run through that, we've combined a couple of things so you can get underway right away. You don't have to go through a whole bunch of steps. You can simply fill out one large form, upload that one large form, and we can get underway right from there. The other thing that we've managed to set up, you can actually do the online payment right through the course. It just clicks it and takes you over to a separate merchant account to pay for that and just, okay, look, we're underway. Now, again, just as a reminder, that service is only for North Carolina residents since I can't really do anything uh, legally to draft documents outside of North Carolina. Now, one other thing that I want to make sure that I'm mentioning is that guide, that free simple will guide, that is really geared to be good information nationally. It's not providing legal advice, it's just general advice. And it describes the documents as best as I can in plain English. That's the thing. I'm the plain English attorney. Uh, Over the years, I've had a lot of clients and other people tell me that they've talked with attorneys and it's almost like they're speaking a foreign language. I try to keep this basic and simple so that you can have that information. All right. So let's see if we've got any more questions. I am not seeing anything specifically coming in. Now, if you do want something more than just the simple wills, all right, we've got a whole other area of information, and you can actually go to the course that we've had up for a while, freetrustcourse.com. Again, it's freetrustcourse.com. This is something where you can get a little more in depth. Okay, I want to avoid probate, but it does require a little bit more. The purpose behind online rally wills is so that, okay, I just need to check this box. I can come back later. Let me get at least a basic plan in place. And then from there, you can go and look a little more closely. All right. So, all right, just we had a comment. What amazes me is the quality of your content. It's great, yet the community growth is slow. Looks like you're shadow banned. No, it's because we're really gearing our content for the people who are searching at that particular time. This might be going a little bit kind of off track. It's not a shadow ban. It's just, look, not everybody is interested in estate planning all the time. And I joke with people, all right, we're coming up on, at this point, I think 3,900 subscribers plus. We're getting close to that 4,000 mark for subscribers. It's estate planning. People aren't looking at that all the time. A lot of people get on YouTube to find specific information when they have a need. But other than looking for that specific need, it's entertainment. I joke that I could probably make some videos of my cat Klaus and get a whole bunch more subscribers because, well, look, he's entertaining and a little bit crazy. But we're going to keep putting that information out there, not just on YouTube, but in the online courses. We've got the blog at plainenglishattorney.com. The blog also gets posted to livingtrustlawfirm.com for the law firm. And these also get out through Facebook, Instagram, and other places. So, look, we just have this mission of making sure that we get good content out there that's clear, concise, and accurate. And we don't necessarily need to have the glitz. If you're seeing this 2 or 3 years after this launch and it does you some good, hey, maybe we'll be to 10,000 subscribers at that point. Maybe. But it's not really that important to me if we aren't. I just want people to go ahead and get the information they need. All right. And okay, valid point. Thank you. All right. So we're just looking to see if we've got any more questions out there. We'll just give it a second. Okay. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. Of course, this is going to make it out onto YouTube and we're going to get it out through the e-newsletter as well. So, as I always tell my clients, please stay safe, plan ahead, and enjoy life. And whatever you do,